Gunpowder is one of the most influential inventions in human history. It changed warfare, altered political systems, and reshaped global power. Yet its discovery was not intentional. It was the result of experimentation by ancient Chinese alchemists who were searching for something completely different. Gunpowder was first developed in China during the Tang Dynasty in the 9th century. At that time, alchemists were attempting to create an elixir of immortality. Chinese alchemy blended philosophy, medicine, and chemistry. Scholars believed that certain combinations of minerals could extend life or grant eternal youth. Among the materials commonly used were sulfur and saltpeter. Saltpeter, which we now know as potassium nitrate, was particularly valued for its chemical properties. During experiments, alchemists mixed saltpeter with sulfur and charcoal. When a mixture was heated, it ignited violently. Ancient records from the period describe how the mixture produced flames and smoke that could burn hands and faces. Instead of discovering eternal life, these alchemists had accidentally created the first true explosive compound known to humanity. The traditional formula for black powder later became standardized as 75. In this mixture, potassium nitrate acts as the oxidizer, providing oxygen for the reaction. Charcoal serves as the fuel, and sulfur lowers the ignition temperature while accelerating combustion. When ignited, this combination burns rapidly and produces expanding gases. In open air, it creates a flash and smoke. When confined, it produces pressure capable of propelling objects or causing explosions. Interestingly, the earliest uses of gunpowder were not military. The Chinese used it primarily for fireworks and ceremonial displays. Explosions were believed to scare away evil spirits, and fireworks became an important part of festivals and celebrations. Gunpowder was also used in signal flares for communication. Over time, however, its military potential became clear. During the Song Dynasty, engineers began experimenting with weaponized gunpowder. One of the earliest devices was the fire lance. This weapon consisted of a spear with a tube attached near its tip. When ignited, it released flames and sometimes fragments toward enemies. Although primitive, it marked the beginning of firearm technology. Over time, however, its military potential became clear. Soon afterward, more advanced weapons appeared. Chinese armies developed explosive bombs, grenades, and rocket-powered arrows. These innovations provided a significant defensive advantage, especially during sieges. In the 13th century, the spread of gunpowder technology accelerated due to the expansion of the Mongol invasions. As the Mongol Empire expanded across Asia and into parts of Europe, it facilitated the exchange of ideas and technologies. Gunpowder knowledge traveled along trade routes and battlefields. Islamic scholars in the Middle East studied and improved explosive formulas. They refined manufacturing methods and expanded military applications. Eventually, gunpowder technology reached Europe. By the 14th century, European armies had begun developing cannons. These early cannons were powerful enough to damage or destroy fortified castle walls. For centuries, castles had symbolized security and political authority. Thick stone walls provided protection against traditional siege weapons. Cannons changed that balance. As artillery improved, medieval fortifications became increasingly vulnerable. This shift weakened the traditional feudal system, where power was often based on fortified strongholds and heavily armored knights. Centralized states that could finance and maintain gunpowder armies gained greater influence. Gunpowder also played a major role during the Age of Exploration. European ships equipped with cannons traveled across oceans, establishing trade routes and colonies. Naval artillery provided military advantages that supported overseas expansion. Although gunpowder is most often associated with warfare, it also contributed to industrial development. It was used in mining to extract coal and metals. Engineers used controlled explosions to construct canals, roads, and railways. Gunpowder helped reshape landscapes and enabled large-scale infrastructure projects. Over time, black powder was replaced in many applications by smokeless powder and more advanced explosives. However, the fundamental principle remained the same: rapid chemical reactions releasing energy through combustion. The invention of gunpowder marks a turning point in global history. It transformed military strategy, altered political structures, and influenced the rise and fall of empires. What began as an accidental discovery during a search for immortality became one of the most powerful tools ever created by human beings. Gunpowder demonstrates how unintended discoveries can have profound consequences. A simple mixture of saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal reshaped the world in ways its creators could never have imagined.